Microsoft just did Nintendo a huge favor as they're raising prices across the board for hardware and games, with hardware being effective immediately. Now, Microsoft is essentially attributing this to the Trump tariffs in everything but name, and we'll read their statement in a few moments here. But let's take a look at some of these prices first for the hardware, or starting off with the hardware. As we can see, hardware prices are going up for the systems themselves anywhere from $80 to $100, if not even more in at least one case. So look at this, a Series S, the 512GB version, going up from $300 to $380. So an $80 increase. Same thing for the Series S 1TB, going from $350 to $430. Then we had the Xbox Series X digital going from $450 to $550, so a $100 price increase. Similarly for the actual Xbox Series X, yes, the actual one being the physical one, going from $500 to $600. But then check this out, again, that was a $100 price increase. We have the Xbox Series X 2TB Galaxy Black going from $600 to $730, a $130 increase in the US. This is getting freaking wild. Then we have accessory increases such as the limited edition Xbox wireless controller going up $10 from $80 to $90. We have the Xbox wireless headset Series 2 going from $180 to $200, again the $20 increase, and the Xbox wireless headset going up by $10 from $109 to $119. So these are some steep changes, and these are steeper than the accessory price increases we saw mostly for Nintendo. And then of course Nintendo didn't even increase their hardware price beyond what they had initially announced after the full tariffs came into view. So this is really interesting to see Microsoft doing this, and again, these prices are effective immediately. Furthermore though, which again is good news for Nintendo in that they're not alone on this front now, is they are raising game prices too. Now luckily it's not immediate, so if there's any games you want out there, you may want to pick them up soon, but they are raising game prices to $80 for some key titles. Now I don't believe they've given an official list of games that are going up to $80 this holiday season, but IGN has speculated that some of those games will include Call of Duty, the new Fable, the Perfect Dark reboot, Clockwork Revolution, Rare Everwild, the Coalition's Gears of War, the Hideo Kojima's OD, and Undead Labs' State of Decay 3. So those are just, again, some of the theoretical games that could be getting a price increase from Xbox according to IGN, but we do know that that price increase is happening, we just don't know exactly what games. Furthermore, the statement that Microsoft gave to IGN was, "We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players." So that statement, applies to both the hardware and the games. It seems like half and half, essentially, in this case. And it really does. I mean, part of me is wondering, did Nintendo open the floodgates here with this $80 price increase for their games, at least for Mario Kart and presumably more in the future? Or did they just happen to be the first to get to that point, and now Microsoft is hopping aboard too? In any case, it is good news for Nintendo, because now people are going to really reconsider why even buy an Xbox now if they can get a Switch too, which is at the least, it seems to be on par with the Series S, from my understanding, at least in the overall graphical fidelity, for around the same cost, if not even cheaper. Because with the 1TB Series S going up to $430, we're approaching the price of the Switch 2 itself. And it's like, well, if I can get the similar power in a handheld form factor that's brand new, will be around for a full console generation, unlike the Series S, which may be replaced in the near future, relatively, well, it's almost like a no-brainer, especially if they're getting way more exclusives on Switch 2. This is not good news for Microsoft. They're already struggling relative to the other platforms, especially in comparison, well, I mean, to Nintendo, but more so PlayStation, just because that's a more evident rivalry there. And yeah, this is only going to make them struggle even more. Now, of course, there's a very likely chance that PlayStation will also be raising their prices soon as well. I don't think they've announced anything as far as I know, but this may be the canary in the coal mine, essentially, that there are more price increases coming, and Microsoft is getting out ahead of the game, or not really ahead of the game, but getting ahead of PlayStation at least, in announcing these. And it makes me think that there could be more bad news incoming. So this is unfortunate, obviously, especially for Xbox fans or those who wanted to pick up an Xbox, especially with these pricier games incoming at $80. Like, it's going to definitely make me think twice before buying games I may have been interested in otherwise. If Indiana Jones were $80, I probably wouldn't have bought it, So yeah, interesting times, everyone, but what do you make of this? Are you concerned about the future of gaming and Xbox as well? Or do you think this is good news for Nintendo and that the Switch 2 doesn't seem quite as expensive anymore, and Mario Kart no longer being the, one of the only high-profile $80 games out there, at least on consoles? Let me know, chat, in the comments below. I want to know what you think of this all. But with that, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more on gaming stuff in general, and we'll catch you later. Bye, everyone.